876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
And now the news. We begin with news on the crime scene. A 48-hour curfew, which was imposed in sections of the Goshen community in St. Elizabeth on the weekend, is expected to end at 6 p.m. today. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Saturday, December 9. The curfew was imposed in response to a double murder in the community on the weekend. A 46-year-old fisherman, Trevor Morgan, and his nephew, 29-year-old Rajay Hagigal, were killed Friday morning at about 1 a.m. by gunmen shortly after they left a bar they operated near Post Office Road in Goshen. The boundaries of the curfew are north along an imaginary line 5 kilometers from Goshen Community Center to Misham Community, west along an imaginary line from Pepper Well Road to Wilton Crossing, south along an imaginary line from Rawlings Garage to NHD Housing Scheme, east along an imaginary line from Rawlings Garage to NHD Housing Scheme. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises for 48 hours, unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Meanwhile, the police are advising members of the public to adopt safe practices and to be vigilant as they conduct business and traverse public places throughout this Yuletide season. In a release to the public on the weekend, the police assured the public that they will continue to maintain a strong presence across the island to minimize attacks from criminals. The police has provided a number of tips that they say if members of the public adhere to, the levels of safety can be assured. Our reporter, Gafar Ellis, reports.
The police says that to prevent robberies during the festive season, the public should ensure that valuables and personal possessions, such as cash and high-end electronic devices, are properly concealed and secured. Persons transporting large sums of cash should seek the support of escort services offered by private security companies. Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid using devices like earphones and headsets while commuting, as thieves are utilizing motorcycles and other vehicles to commit robberies. The police has also urged members of the public to trust your individual judgment. If you feel there may be a threat, go somewhere safe, such as the nearest police station. Avoid wearing excessive jewelry, particularly gold, especially when walking in areas with high pedestrian traffic. Always ensure that your house keys and car keys are easily accessible to minimize the time it takes to enter homes and vehicles. Do not leave valuable items on motor vehicle seats or in areas within the vehicle that make them visible to passers-by. Persons using automated teller machines are also urged to be vigilant and protect their debit and credit card information. Avoid using ATMs in secluded areas and do not accept assistance from strangers. The police has also urged travelers to be alert at the airport and be mindful of people who are not legitimately authorized to locals or provide transportation. And if you believe you're being followed, proceed to a busy location and contact the police immediately. Our NRP newsroom will continue to provide you with tips from the police as it relates to safety at home in subsequent newscasts. For NRP News, I am Gafar Ellis.
Thank you, Gafar. Continuing the news, detectives assigned to the St. Andrews Central Division have listed 4 men as wanted for several crimes committed across the parish. They are 20-year-old Nicholas Williams, otherwise called Pooh Bear, of University Crescent, Kingston 6, who is wanted for shooting with intent. Roshane Douglas, otherwise called Rush, of Gordon Hill District in St. Andrew, and is wanted for murder. Ashani Mackenzie, otherwise called Mengs, a 27-year-old of Anderson Road, Kingston 5, and who is wanted for murder. Calvin Simon, otherwise called CJ, a 19-year-old of Gordon Hill District in St. Andrew, and who is wanted for murder. The police are appealing to these 4 men to turn Halfway Tree Police Station immediately. Members of the public are reminded that it is a criminal offense to harbor a fugitive. Investigators are encouraging persons to continue sharing information to aid in the investigations by calling the Halfway Tree Police at 876-926-8184, Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, the police 119 numbers, or the nearest police station. The country is experiencing record travel from several destinations overseas and is also poised to see the visitor arrival numbers increase further. This disclosure was made by Delano Sivright, senior strategist and advisor in the Ministry of Tourism. He was speaking to journalists yesterday while on a tour of hotel facilities in Miguel, Westmoreland, and to make an assessment of progress being made with the country deep into the winter tourist season. According to Mr. Sivright, in terms of air seats between Jamaica and the United States in particular, there have been some 120,000 extra seats, totaling 1.05 million seats for the season so far, compared to the similar period last year.
Beyond that, we're also seeing very strong performance out of Canada. We have about 300,000 airline seats between Canada and Jamaica. And we have 2 new Canadian airlines that are commencing services to Jamaica. Just yesterday, Jetline started non-stop services between Toronto and Montego Bay, which is excellent. That's the first time they have come to Jamaica. And later on this week, we have Flair Airlines out of Canada, which will be doing non-stop flights between Toronto and Kingston, Jamaica.
And Mr. Sivright says that the prospects for the tourism better by the day.
The partners, United States, Canada, and the UK, and also West, happy about that.
Delano Sivright, senior strategist and advisor in the Ministry of Tourism. Meanwhile, Mr. Sivright revealed that on the weekend, 2 flights were rerouted from the Sangster International Airport due to malfunctioning runway lights.
There was some difficulties at the Sangster International Airport the night as a result. Thankfully, they have been able to address it. Only 2 flights were disrupted. Those flights have now been cleared, and we expect the airport to have normal operations going forward.
Delano Sivright, senior strategist and advisor in the Ministry of Tourism. Finally, in the Break of Day newscast this morning, Tax Administration Jamaica THA is encouraging small and medium-sized tourism enterprises to take advantage of its online services. Speaking at a recent business development information session hosted by the Tourism Enhancement Fund at the Courtly Hotel Auditorium in Kingston, Deputy Commissioner General TAJ Dave Jeffrey informed that up to 80% of the services offered by the agency can be done electronically, as the process is safe, convenient, and secure. And Mr. Jeffrey reminded tourism interests that they can generate a statement account, get it approvals, make payments, view payment history, apply for their income tax exemptions, tax registration number TRN, or their tax compliance certificate as well. The Deputy Commissioner General said that by offering these services online, among others, the TAJ has made it much more convenient for persons to become and remain compliant. Mr. Jeffrey informed further that the TAJ has expanded its payment channels, making it easier for customers to pay their taxes on their website, mobile app, NCB online banking, direct funds, transfer, and now Scotiabank online. Persons may connect with the TAJ on Instagram at Jamaica Tax Online, X, formerly Twitter, at Jamaica Tax, and on Facebook at Tax Administration Jamaica, or visit the entity's website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm to learn more about its services. You are listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, limitations. And now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Hepburn's Glass. They are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass, quality service is our priority.
And now for our sports stories. We kick off on football. Former champions Progressive FC landed leaders Wi-Fi United their first defeat from last season in Portland, FA Western Union Major League, as they edged them 2-1 at their home at Snow Hill on Sunday, coming from behind. Wi-Fi took the lead when Tyrone Brown scored in the 15th minute, but O'Neill Bryan equalized from a fire kick in the 37th minute and Dejon Simpson the clincher in the 87th. In the other game played Sunday, Ujama CC and Berrydale SC played to a 2-2 draw at Berrydale, where Ujama scored twice as Roshane Thomas gave them a brace 32nd and 45th, and Berrydale own goal Dennis White in the 66th minute and Richard Scott in the 73rd. On Saturday, Manchester CC went by Kensington SC 2-0 with goals from Dante Wallace and O'Dane Brand in the 25th and 37th minutes, respectively. Points after 3 rounds, Wi-Fi United 6, Manchester CC 6, and Progressive FC 6, as Wi-Fi scored the most goals on 6 points to Manchester 5 and Progressive 3. Berrydale stands in 4th position with 4 points, Rio 3, Ujama 1, and Kensington 0. Finally, on cricket news, West Indies got over the line in a nervy chase to beat England by 4 wickets on the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method in a rain-shortened third one-day international in Barbados. When play began 2 hours later than scheduled, seamer Matthew Ford quickly took 3 wickets on his international debut as England collapsed to 49 for 5. Ben Duckett made 71 to help England recover and posted 206 for 9 from 40 overs after another rain delay. A further downpour left West Indies with a revised target of 188 from 34 overs, and they looked on course for a comfortable victory thanks to a composed half-century from Casey Carty. However, England hit back to set up a tense finale with Will Jacks taking 3 for 22 as the spinners did the damage. The game looked to be going down to the wire, but one expensive over from the previously impressive Gus Atkinson swung the game decisively in West Indies' favor, and Romario Shepherd, who finished unbeaten on 41 from 28 balls, sealed the win with 14 balls to spare. West Indies took the ODI series 2-1 and can celebrate a first home series win over England in the format since 1998. The two sides will now prepare for the 5-match T20 series that begins tomorrow, also in Barbados. That's sports in our NRP Break of Day newscast, brought to you by Hepburn's Glass, located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston.
Hepburn's Glass Appliance is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Glass quality service is our priority.
We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or person whose good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com or call 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sport. Stand by now for the latest international news, courtesy of the Voice of America.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. Israeli tanks battled their way to the center of Khan Yunis on Sunday and a major new push into the heart of the main city in the southern Gaza Strip.
Both sides also reported heavy fighting in the north of the Gaza Strip. Drone footage shot by Israel's Channel 12 News on December 8th showed the destruction of Gaza City. At an international conference in Doha, Qatar, Arab foreign ministers criticized the United States for vetoing a UN Security Council resolution on Friday, which demanded a humanitarian ceasefire.
Ukrainian soldiers are again readying for winter combat in a 21-month-old conflict against invading Russian soldiers.
In Ukraine's Kharkiv region, this modern war wages on as a recent Russian missile strike killed at least one person and injured several others. And then Western intelligence assessments warn Russia is likely to increase such attacks on civilian infrastructure during the winter. And while civilians brace for more cold months at war, frontline soldiers fight to regain country's south and east. Harash Arabasadi, VOA News.
U.S. President Joe Biden is taking a more active role in the U.S. Senate negotiations over changes to the immigration system that Republicans are demanding in exchange for providing money to Ukraine and Israel. Biden has said he is willing to make significant compromises on the border to meet Republican demands that the foreign aid be tied to an overhaul of U.S. border policy. The issues under discussion include asylum standards, humanitarian parole, and fast-track deportation authority. VOAnews.com. This is VOA News.
That was the latest international news from the VOA. Now for the weather report and forecast. The National Met Service is reporting that there is a significant feature of a trough and low-level jet stream across Jamaica. The trough and low-level jet stream are expected to remain across the island over the next few days. Expect windy conditions to continue. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, expect isolated showers across eastern parishes, partly cloudy elsewhere. This afternoon, expect isolated showers across hilly areas and southern parishes, partly cloudy elsewhere, windy, especially along the south coast. In the 3-day forecast after today, partly cloudy in the morning, isolated afternoon showers across hilly areas and sections of southern parishes, windy along the south coast. On Wednesday and Thursday, isolated morning showers across north, central, and eastern parishes, isolated afternoon showers across southern parishes, windy as well. In terms of the other current regional weather features, there is a cold front across the Gulf of Mexico. That is the latest weather report and forecast in the NRP Break of Day newscast. With that, we've come to the end of our news presentation this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. A 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of Goshen in St. Elizabeth ends at 6 p.m. today. Police calls on Jamaicans to adopt safe practices during the Christmas period. 4 men listed as wanted by the St. Andrews Central Police, and Jamaica experiencing record travel from several destinations overseas. In sport, West Indies got over the line in a nervy chase to beat England by 4 wickets on the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method in a rain-shortened third one-day international in Barbados on Saturday. The full package of news today came to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other social media platforms on NRP Media, a online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities, along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com.
NRP Media, and radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Here is your invitation to join us again this evening at 6:30 for the NRP Evening News Roundup. Remember, we invite you and your feedback to this newscast via WhatsApp at 876-336-9928 or on any of the platforms that you are listening. We invite you also to subscribe to our YouTube channel that is at NRP Media JA, and click on the notification bell. The same applies to our Facebook pages at NRP Media JA and under the name LEAON Nash. Our radio platform at nrpmediaja.com is always operating 24/7, 365 days per year for your listening pleasure. Join this growing medium. Feel fulfilled and informed. I am Leon Nash for NRP News. Have a good rest of your morning. Drive with other road users in mind, and for your own and family's sake, please stay safe.
Said every day that I wake, I want to start my day with